The push for equality doesn't end just because Pride Month is coming to an end. For people in the LGBTQ community, it is part of their everyday life.
And tonight, Queen City News anchor Julian Sador continues to give us insight into the lives of 4 people fighting just to get treated like everyone else.
In order to move to a place of equality and inclusion, people in the trans community say they need allies. Allies who ask questions the right way, with respect and with understanding. In our final part of our 3-part series, we rejoin Shane, Janae, Raul, and Jenny as they share just some of the struggles they face being out, so people can understand why having allies is so important. Janae Wright is full of life. She's confident, she's talented. She's also scared that any day could be her last, simply because she's trans.
I'm terrified. You know, every time I walk out the house, I don't know who's going to clock me or find out, or, you know, who's saying what. I don't know what weapon somebody has.
And those fears are sadly backed by crime statistics. Last year, at least 57 transgender or gender nonconforming people were killed. A majority of them were Black or Latinx transgender women. It's a problem that the Queen City isn't excluded from.
Both are accused in the murder of Jada Peterson and Remy Fiddle. It's caused a lot of fear in the transgender community, with many telling us it's just traumatic.
Just last year, 2 trans Black women were killed in Charlotte.
They have to constantly worry when they walk out their front door. Is this the day that I don't make it home because I just strictly want to be me?
It's an issue Raul Lowry has spoken out about, both as an advocate, but also as a trans man himself.
All I want to do is go to work, go to, get my errands done and come back home. But simple steps like that can cost you your life because people are so comfortable saying and doing whatever they feel if it's somebody that they don't know or they don't understand. Part of understanding why Black trans women are targeted more often could be explained by intersectionality, which looks at social markers as a collective whole, not individually.
When you start to layer unique identities, which are beautiful and wonderful in their composite and all of the various facets of those identities, the problem is that when you become more unique in the world, the system will marginalize you further.
So when you're Black, trans, and a woman, your uniqueness makes you more of a target.
You are, somebody that is dehumanized, your life doesn't matter, and you can be disposed. And that's the mindset of a lot of individuals.
Although she's not Black, as a trans woman, Jenny Gunn found herself on the other end of those who wanted to dehumanize her. After beginning a divorce for her second marriage, Jenny was coming out as trans. A person she thought she could trust set her up, taking her out for what started out as a fun night.
They took me to a lake house, and there was a bunch of people there. It was felt more like a party. I was kind of getting tired, and I said, I'm gonna leave. And then I got hit with a beer bottle in the back of the head. I was told with a knife to my throat, you're not going anywhere. We're gonna teach you not to do this. We need to beat and sexually assault the gayness out of you. And 9 guys beat and raped me. And it was absolutely brutal.
Hurt and scared, Jenny turned to police. She won't say what department it was, but did say they were no help.
They wouldn't do anything. He told me that's the price of being gay, is the way they termed it. We're not going to do anything.
Feeling like she had nowhere else to turn, Jenny says she felt helpless, so she tried taking her life for the second time.
I decided, this is it. That wasn't meant to be. This is a sign. I just need to go away.
Thankfully, a friend would find Jenny before it was too late, but she would slip into depression and become homeless. But it would be her ex that found her and got her life back on track towards transitioning.
She made sure that I moved back to Texas and forced me to promise her that I'm gonna do it. And I honored that commitment.
So at the age of 45, Jenny would finally start the last leg of her journey, beginning hormone therapy and getting the help she desperately needed, counseling for all the trauma she had been through.
It was almost like being released out of prison.
It also gave Jenny a whole new community so she no longer felt alone, as well as a new mindset that everything she had been through had helped make her the strong woman she is today.
My scars are very important. My victories are also important. And being able to realize I deserve compassion, love, and an inner peace like everybody else.
A powerful understanding that those in the trans community want more people to comprehend.
We're humans, first and foremost. We were 0.8% of the population in demographics, but honestly, we have the same hopes, dreams, and aspirations that any other human being has. And so that doesn't change. That doesn't go away because you come out.
But according to Bethany Corrigan, Executive Director of Transcend Charlotte, an organization that provides services to the transgender community, some people refuse to see that, treating those in the trans community like walking billboards for inappropriate questions about body parts, sexual life, and more.
Unimaginable what our community faces, the disrespect and the outright abuse and the liberty taking and the entitlement. People just assume you're there to answer their questions or you're there to kind of, challenge.
According to comedian Shane Lane and others in the trans community, it's usually one thing that people are the most curious about.
Honestly, the first question I do get asked when I say that I'm trans is, have you had the surgery? Have you had anything like that? It's just very interesting why we are so curious as to what's going down, what's going down below. So it's like, can't you just see me as a person and not care?
But as Raul says, society's infatuation with what's going on under someone's clothes is rooted in a common misconception that how someone's body looks has anything to do with their gender identity.
There are people that choose not to have any type of surgeries at all, but that doesn't make them any less trans than anyone else that has had every surgery.
So how do we erase those misconceptions, erase the stigma? Those like Raul say people in the community are willing to teach. Those who don't know just have to be willing to listen and realize there's nothing wrong with being an ally.
The help is there. You just have to not be afraid to look for it, to find it, and to accept it when you get it and not be afraid of what other people are going to say.
And being an ally means supporting people just like Shane.
Everything was awful about that joke I just did, so
People just like Janae.
I'm the queen.
And anyone else who's willing to come out and share their story with you.
Hopefully a young person hears me, hears this message that we can all do it. You can do it. Because if this old lady can do it, you can do it, and that there's hope.
And one thing that all four and Bethany say is that being an ally means you're an ally all of the time, not just in private. They're not saying you need to confront people, just don't shy away from it. And as you heard Jenny say, for those who need help or want to learn more, it's never too late to reach out.
Thank you, Julian, for that. Speaking of help, if you or anyone you know needs some resources or just someone to talk to, there are organizations in Charlotte such as Transcend and PFLAG that can either help or just point you in the right direction. And if you need immediate help right now, the Trevor Project offers 24/7 counselors for LGBTQ youth, and they can be reached by call, text, or even instant messaging.